Merry Christmas, you guys. It's Amanda with Healthy House on the Block. And this week I'm here with a Christmas themed blog post and video to help you kind of minimize toxins and routines in your house. A lot of times they talk about a very specific toxin or a very specific room of your house. This week's going to be a little bit different given the holiday. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how I and my family, how we are making this Christmas a little bit different. I think everything has kind of changed this year for us, just given the state of the world's health, the state of how we do our day-to-day lives, the fact that we have new family members. We have a really different Christmas this year, and to be honest, I'm okay, and I'm taking this opportunity to kind of change it in a way that will hopefully change Christmases to come, and hopefully it will make our Christmas seasons a little less stressful. I know in the past we have rushed around, done lots of Christmas things that we thought were really important, and this year I'm kind of learning that I need to slow down, pare things down, say no to things. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit today. And I have some really tangible tips for you guys for just creating like a simplified home. I think the way that our home is kind of will be the way that our life is. If your home is cluttered, a lot of times we feel very chaotic. If your home is very cozy, we feel relaxed and we feel a little more at peace. If your home is very like sterile and bright and stark, that's kind of how we tend to feel inside. So our home can definitely be more than just a space where we limit toxins. It can evoke some of those feelings as well. And so I'm gonna walk through some of the ways that we kind of keep a more healthy routine, simplified home. Everything just kind of gets pared down at Christmas time, because I think the one thing we don't want to do is just throw Christmas tasks onto our already busy schedule and to-do list. So let's get started in getting you these tangible tips to get Christmas a little more low-key. All right, you guys, so let's talk about some Christmas ideas for a simple home. It's my way of how we can stress less, create simple routines, and enjoy the holiday more. I had to learn this over many Christmases, and it has gotten easier as time goes on. So first, I think the most important thing is to slow down. I have to remind myself this on a regular basis. I'm kind of like the queen of filling up my day with every task I could possibly squeeze into my to-do list. But I think it's important to remember not to just add Christmas to-dos on top of like your already busy day. I think that it can make your day feel really cluttered, and it can make it feel really cumbersome as you try to go from thing to thing. I also have to remind myself that if I don't slow down, space out what I have to get done throughout the week to other days and times, I'll burn out, and my body and my mind actually suffer as well, making me kind of slow down when I don't even want to. And then for me, I have to add some self-care activities. This looks like maybe reading a devotion, going for a walk, playing a game with my kids, talking to someone I love, either a family member or a friend, and more than just like a quick hello. But I have to plan these things throughout my days so that I make sure that I am taking care of myself. The second thing I think that's really important is paring everything down to necessities. So keeping a simple home often means keeping everything pared down, whether it's like your clothing or your dishes or your cleaning supplies. I'm kind of a firm believer in paring things down wherever you can. And this kind of includes Christmas ideas such as decorations and baking. So often my kids and I want to bake like a gazillion kinds of cookies, and we want to pass them around to all our family and friends. But if there's anything I've learned, it's that wearing myself out really doesn't benefit anybody, especially my family who needs me. So instead, we've been finding creative ways to decorate and just make maybe a few kinds of cookies and treats just in larger batches. I have found that it actually doesn't take anything away but it leaves me with just a little bit less on my plate. We also do this paring down idea in other areas of our life, like making one shopping trip instead of multiple. On Sunday nights, we actually take maybe 15 minutes and lay out a week's worth of clothing so that we don't have to do it during the week. One of the other ways that we do it is I use one toxin-free cleaning concentrate for everything. I use Thieves. It's practically the only thing I need to pay attention to when it comes to like running out. So it just makes my life a little bit simpler. Third, I think it's important to remember that not everything is an obligation. During the Christmas season, when you're trying to tackle all the Christmas ideas, you might kind of feel like everything's a must. I've come to find over the past few years as I've tried to implement some simple home habits that I have to be able to say no or later to some things. At first, it was really hard to say no. I had kind of FOMO and didn't want to give up on a chance of doing something, but I realized it was driving me to get less sleep, worry more, and I didn't have to say yes to everything. And I certainly didn't have to feel guilty about it. Not everything is an obligation. And in fact, it's kind of a good idea when it comes to creating a simple home or adding Christmas ideas that your never-ending to-do list is actually things that are priorities. So maybe get rid of some of the other things. For our family, it looked like one of the priorities was dinners as a family most night. And that meant saying no to some work appointments that came up in the evenings every now and then. And it meant choosing events and activities that didn't really interrupt the time that we had together and working around that. You definitely don't have to feel guilty about picking and choosing what your family will enjoy. I kind of think instead you should feel empowered that you have a choice to do whatever Christmas ideas or family things you want to do while keeping a simple home. So that brings me to 4, which is prioritize what's important. We kind of just talked about that. Forget about the rest. Just work on your priorities. Priorities are key when it comes to Christmas. And if you forget the reason you do the things already on your list or why you try to keep a simple home, you'll likely make decisions that don't really align with your values. For me, my priorities are my family's health and overall happiness. And I don't mean like happiness as in materialistic happiness. It's more of like joy over life and experiences. And if I really put every Christmas idea that came our way through this type of filter, there are some things that would never make it onto my family's calendar. Some people refer to this as their like priority lens, but essentially it means choosing things that are only going to support your priorities. And then kind of let everything else fall to the wayside completely guilt-free. Okay, so how do we keep up on healthy habits over Christmas and why it's important? I kind of think that so often I forget that keeping up with my healthy habits and my simple home daily routines is something that keeps me grounded in all of the busyness of Christmas that comes up. For me, one of the biggest things is getting enough sleep. Exercising on a daily basis is another one. And then maintaining like a nourishing diet. When I start to let these things go, I don't feel like myself. I feel run down. And it leaves me feeling less than excited about new Christmas things that my family might want to introduce to our routine. So when you take care of yourself and you keep up with your healthy habits in your home and for your health, you'll feel more like you, and you'll enjoy those added Christmas celebrations and outings. I think this one is one of my favorites. Remember that this is just a season. So like when all else fails, I try to tell myself this is just a season. Whatever chaos it brings, whatever doesn't get done is just a temporary pitfall of the busyness that gets added on to our schedule. This mental shift has helped me in so many situations, from being a parent to owning and running a business, to being a homeowner. Everything has a season to grow, and a season that's difficult and a season that's messy, but everything also has a season that's really enjoyable and a lot easier. So if you can remember that these seasons come along, I guarantee that it will make the stress and the chaos easier to handle, and maybe you can even enjoy it a little bit along the way. Finally, remember that you're human. We all are. We can't accomplish everything or every Christmas thing that comes up. We have limits. While you may want to do everything under the moon and keep up a simple home, those two things just aren't humanly possible in the same breath. I think embrace what you can do and do it well. It's okay to be human and ask for help. It's also okay to do half of your to-do list and your Christmas things that you want to do, and then just leave the rest. You'll be a lot happier, and you will probably be more joyful once you accept that truth. You don't need to feel frustrated or down when things just don't get done. Try to remember there's always another day to clean, and keep a simple home and tackle all of the Christmas things that you want that will come your way. I think today, just enjoy the time that you have with your loved ones and make sure that the relationships with those around you are a priority as you go throughout your day. And then I also wanted to share with you guys, if nothing else during the uptick of Christmas, I keep the diffuser running at home to promote kind of a simple, grounded, calm feeling. I'm going to share with you my diffuser blends that are Christmassy, but also very calming, relaxing, and grounding. So you can save this screen image if you want. Otherwise, I have this linked in my blog as well, where you can save all of these diffuser blends. Like I said, all Christmassy, but all very calming. So I hope you guys are able to use some of these ideas and these tips. I hope that it helps your Christmas season be a little bit more restful, a time where you can spend quality moments with your family, a time where you can rest and rejuvenate for the coming year. And I hope that this video finds you well. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. You can visit my blog, and I have this week's blog post linked in the comments below. Again, have a very Merry Christmas, and I will see you guys later.